All right, guys, we got this. Let's go. Gun wide trip sweep. Pros X go. On one. On one. Ready?
Ready.
What's up, guys? It's Pihcam with HuddleGG, and in today's video, we're going to actually do a follow-up to a video we put out last week when we talked about how Cover 4 Palms is going to cover trip-style sets in this game. Now, we had a lot of good feedback and a lot of good discussion there in the comment section talking about that. So again, if you guys have any questions about this video, have any other ideas you want us to look at and put out tips on, or how certain things work in the game, how to beat certain coverages, how to defend certain route combinations, definitely put that in the comment section below as well. And again, I love talking to you guys in there and trying to see what other ideas we can get put out for you. Okay, so with that being said, let's get into this video, because what we're going to be doing in this video is we're actually going to be talking about Cover 4 quarters against trips. Okay, I mentioned last week that quarters and palms look the same play art wise, but they are different defensive play calls entirely, and they are going to play different sets and different formation, different route combinations, completely different. Okay, so in today's video we are going to talk about Cover 4 quarters, and this is going to be the play that you see in a lot more formations this year as well. They took palms out of a lot. Palms really is in dime, normal, big dime, and then big nickel over G. That's really where you're going to find palms, but you will be able to find quarters in a lot of your nickel sets as well. The Cover 4 show 2 out of nickel 3-3 cub, or 3-3 wide that it's been in the past, that is a quarters call. So things like that, again, you'll find a lot more in nickel sets, so it is important to understand how this works as well. Now, if you look at the play art here, this is a Cover 4 quarters call. If we audible to a Cover 4 palms, you can see that it's the exact same play art, right? We have the 3 rec, 2 quarter flats, and then our 4 deep zones, okay? But like I said, there is a difference. When we are in palms, we talked about briefly, and again, go check out that video last week to get more in-depth discussion on how it will defend trips. But what you're going to see is this outside corner is going to be manned up on the outside receiver no matter where he goes, right? He goes on a drag, anything, he's manned up. And then this guy here, this slot corner, and this safety are going to play what's called 2 read on these inside 2 receivers, okay? Now that is something that's not going to take place when we're in quarters. And then when we were in palms as well, with the tight end attached like this, right? If he's close to that offensive tackle, it's going to play one way. If he's out here wide, it's going to play a different way. Okay, now when it comes to this right side, or this solo receiver side here in trip sets, quarters and palms will play the same. Okay, where it is going to differ is going to be this trip side defense. Okay, like we talked about there, it is a numbers game for us, right? On this left side we have 4 defenders over 3 receivers, and then on this right side we have 3 defenders over 2 receivers, right? So we have a +1 advantage on both sides of the ball here. Okay, now when it comes to quarters, the way that this is going to play, and we've talked about this in match coverage before, when I number the receivers, if I do say the number 1, number 2 receiver, something like that, I am counting from outside in. Okay, so if I say the number 1 receiver, it is this outside receiver, this would be the number 2 receiver, and then this inside receiver would be the number 3 receiver. Okay, now when we're looking at this, we want to first look at our outside corner over here to the left. Okay, his job is a little bit different than what it is in palms. In palms, like I said, he's going to man up on that outside guy no matter what route he goes on. Here in quarters, he's only going to man up on this guy if he goes vertical. Okay, so if he runs a post route, a comeback, a deep curl, a streak, anything like that, fade route, right, C route, anything like that, he's going to man up on him if he goes vertical down the field. Okay, so if he goes on a drag route, he's just going to leave him for the rest of the team to take care of, and then he'll float back into this area and just try to look for help and help out there. Okay, this quarter flat, he's no longer responsible for 11 deep like we talk about in palms, or trapping the inside guy like he was again in palms as well. He's really just looking to cover the first route to the flat. Okay, and one thing you'll see as well is he's actually going to bump this guy, this middle receiver here, if he goes vertical, just so he can slow down this receiver, and so he doesn't get into his route as quickly, which helps our safeties out when they convert to man coverage. Okay, so again, what you're going to see here is he's going to try to get hands on this number 11 to slow him down, and then he's just looking for anything to the flat, right? So if 11 goes to the flat, he'll take him. If 14 goes to the flat, he'll take him. He's really more so playing a true flat assignment here, and we will talk that he can cover someone vertical on a specific route combination, but primarily he's just looking for people going to that flat area. Now this safety, he is going to be responsible for the middle receiver or the number 2 receiver, this guy, if he goes vertical. Okay, so if 11 goes vertical, this safety is going to take him down the field, and then this backside safety now is responsible for the inside receiver. Okay, so this safety on this side of the field is responsible for this receiver here. Okay, so that's what's going to happen to the trip side of the field. And if we run something like this play art shown here, you'll see the trip side, how they're going to defend this, and then we'll talk about the other side as well. But you'll see that it plays exactly like it's supposed to, and Madden has done a better job in recent years, and I feel like they have made some improvements when it comes to match coverage. You're still going to see some bugs here and there, but on this play and this type of a route combination, they're going to do a really good job. Again, this guy, he sees that his guy's going vertical. He is going to take him. Now, one thing I do want you to be aware of is for some reason this year, fade routes from the outside against quarters do get this little bump at times, and it does free up that receiver a little bit. So just be aware of that when you're running this coverage, okay? Now, this safety, again, he is responsible for the middle receiver. Like I said, the corner right here is going to get his hands on the receiver to slow him down, and then he's going to pass him off to the safety, who's now going to cover him deep. Right, you see the safety is now in man coverage on 11. Like I said, this backside safety now is going to be taking the inside receiver vertical. You see here, he's looking at him the whole time. He's waiting for him. He transitions, and now he's running with this guy down the field. Okay, our 3 rec, which again is typically our user, if we have any shallow cross, so a drag, an in route, anything like that coming from these 3 receivers, we want to take that with our user here. If not, we really just want to do what the computer does here and try to stay underneath this route so they can't throw this quick before he gets to the safety. Okay, you see here, this is pretty much what we want to do if nothing is coming shallow. Okay, on the right side here, we will talk about what their rules are because it is going to be the same as what Palms were. Okay, and it's going to be entirely dependent on where the tight end is and what that receiver or tight end runs as a route. Okay, this backside quarter flat here, so this guy here is going to cover the running back no matter where he goes on the right. If he goes on a wheel, a little curl, a flat route, anything like that, swing route, he's going to take him and man up on him one-on-one. Okay, now these 2 defenders are going to watch the tight end. Okay, so what you'll see is this guy will take the tight end only if he goes shallow and across the field. Okay, so if he's on a drag or a short in, he's going to play what's called a cut technique, and he will take that tight end all the way across the formation. If he goes vertical, or like if he goes on a post or a corner route here, then the outside corner is going to take him. Okay, so if we go back to that replay that we just ran, you'll see that he is going to, the outside corner is going to take him because he's running this vertical route. Okay, now one thing you want to be careful of in quarters is, if you notice and paid attention here, this safety on the backside, right, this weak side safety, has 2 responsibilities technically in this play, where he may have to cover the tight end on a drag route, and then he would have the vertical from number 3 at times as well. So if they would run something like this, at times it can get beat, but what you'll see here is they do an okay job of having that backside corner help because he has no responsibility now that tight end's not going vertical, right? So if we run this back again, you'll see that again, this safety, his first job on this play is taking the tight end if he goes underneath the formation, and he will take him every time if that's the case. Okay, so you see that he does a pretty good job. This is something that they have cleaned up in recent years. He used to be way behind this, but he does a pretty good job this year of covering that. But now you'll see that this was his responsibility when we talked about when these 3 guys are going vertical, but now this backside corner is going to try to help out. You can see that he does get beat a little bit over the top, but his job really here is to replace that safety and follow this down the field vertical. I will tell you one thing that I do with my user. If I see that if I'm running quarters and I know that they're running that tight end underneath, right, this is my user here, this 3 rec, I'm going to follow this inside receiver all the way if I see that tight end's coming underneath, just to help out that backside corner on that vertical route. Okay, so you see here, again, if we look at this, as soon as I see this tight end going underneath with my user here, I now tell myself I have to help out on this number 3 going vertical all the way down the field because if not, like we showed before, he can beat that corner over the top. Okay, now if we just run one more route combination here, I will show you that that quarter flat at times can follow somebody deep down the field, but it is really specific route combination. So if they would run something like this, again, he is looking for that first flat. So if there's only this one flat route, which is from the B receiver, what you'll see here is that flat defender is going to follow him down the field, and he will be there to help make a play on that ball. So that's another job that he may have there. Just so you are aware when you are running this coverage. So if we go back to this here and look at this, you'll see, again, as soon as he sees that this is the only flat defender, he is going to take this flat, even though it's going out on the wheel as well, and he will man up on him all the way down the field. Okay, now real quickly, I do want to state that if this guy here, the solo receiver, is split out wide, the outside corner now is going to take him no matter where he goes on the play. Okay, so before, if that tight end was on a drag route, like we talked about, the safety on this side was going to take him or use that cut technique to take him. But what you'll see here is now that that guy is split out wide, what you'll have is that outside corner is going to follow him the entire way. And you can see he's in pretty good position there to make a play. So again, this is another type of coverage that you can run. Like I said, you do have to be careful if they are sending that tight end underneath, because that can open up that inside receiver to get open vertically. But depending on what route combinations your opponent is running, this is definitely something that you can couple with the cover 4 palms defense that we talked about in last week's video to really slow down your opponent in trips style formations. If you've made it to the end of this video, odds are you're serious about becoming a better Madden player, and we're here to help. On our website at HuddleGG, $9.95 a month unlocks all of our full game plans created by some of the best Madden players in the world. You'll also have access to our private Discord where Madden pros will answer your questions and help take your game to the next level. Have a great day.